Please, for the love of God, if you can stay with your college friends, or if you can stay in your college town, or if you can live with friends and roommates and whatever, post-grad, instead of moving it back home, do it. The money you save is not, oh Lord, it is not worth the trifling effect this has on your mental health. Like, and mind you, I give my parents some type of rent money, and for the rent money that I paid to my parents, I could have stayed in my college town. I could have just worked my job remote from my college town instead of moving to states away to live here just to be at the worst mental position of my life. And yes, I plan on moving out. I just have student loans to pay back, and all of my friends moved in back home or have leases, so it's not like I can just up and leave and be like, let's do this. If you can avoid living with your parents, obviously it is a privilege to be able to do so, but weigh the cost, because I am giving my parents $500 in rent. I could have been paying $500 in rent in my college town and living with all my besties, and I would have been thriving. So please, think about it and don't make the mistake I made, because I cry every day. Please.
All right, what an intro. You guys get ready, get strapped in, because we got a good one for you today. Living at home after college, right? So my daughter has actually graduated from Texas State. She is, and we are going through this experience. And let me know if you're going through the experience, if you're a parent or if you're the student, or if you're the college graduate, right? I'd love to see both of y'all's perspective on this one. So let's get started, check it out, and let's jump right in. All right, so let's start off with this one girl. She's talking about she's feeling like she's reverted back to a teenager again. So let's have a look and see what she's talking about.
So I recently just graduated college and I had to move back home to my childhood home, and I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I go back home, like I become a teenager again. I feel like all my old habits come back. I become so unproductive. I become so annoyed so easily. I feel so bad because I get like so irritated at my parents, at my sister, and I like feel so mean because I shouldn't be mad at them. I don't know, but everything is like, I just feel like I'm on edge like 24/7. I just cannot wait until I move out again so I can feel like I have a schedule again, so I can feel productive. I feel like when I'm at home, I feel so limited to everything, even though I have a car and I can like technically like do everything I did when I lived by myself. I don't know, like it's just really weird.
Yeah, so it's just really weird. And it kind of seems weird to me. I mean, what do you guys think? She really gets mad and agitated and limited, feels like maybe she's trapped in a cage. I don't know, she didn't say that, but from what she's saying, it seems like she gets pissed off and mad at people for no reason. I don't know what, I don't know. What do you guys think? This doesn't seem to be I guess what I'm trying to say is that it seems to be her problem. I mean, am I right or am I right? I don't know, but anyways. All right, so traveling down the same path of people not liking moving back in. I would have thought there'd be more that liked it, but because me and my daughter, we get along real good. And I love when she's coming in town. Hopefully she feels the same way, but I don't know after looking at this stuff. But anyway, this girl here, she's got a lack of social life because she moved back in at home with her parents. Okay, so let's check this one out.
No one talks about this, but the hardest thing about living at home with your parents after college is the lack of social life. And if you know me personally, you know I am a social butterfly. I love meeting people and hanging out, but it's a Friday night and I'm just chilling on my bed with my dog, and I've come to terms with my alone time and my weekends just being full of rest and peace. However, I do see the lives of my friends who moved to cities like SF or New York, and I can't help but feel FOMO. Should I be going out every Friday night? But here's a reminder to not fall into the trap of this expectation that you should go out every weekend because you're in your 20s and you should be living your best life. And FOMO is normal, but like my therapist says, just put that thought on a cloud and let it float away. Because your mental health, physical health, and well-being should be number one. And you could always make plans with your friends on the weekends. Like I have a Galentine's tomorrow. I did my nails. I'm rooting for you.
Well, it seems like same kind of deal there. She has a lack of social life. I guess that's because she moved in with her parents. She doesn't want to go out and hang out with her friends on Friday nights, what she's saying, and or leaving out the fact she can't, or maybe alluding that her parents won't let her. Don't have the facts there, but it sounds like the girls are feeling a little bit maybe subdued, or whatever what the intro girl said is the trifle. I don't even know what a trifle is, but it seems like they're not happy. They're not happy. Is anybody happy? Does anyone like doing this? So let's change gears a little bit here and actually talk to somebody who likes living at home after college and see what her benefits are. And she's talking about loving it. So let's see why she loves it. This should be good.
So I'm 23 and I'm living at home, but I actually love it. Back in college, I would have to plan out times to call my mom, whether it be on my walk to class or like Sunday evenings, whatever it might be. I would have to find these times to call her, but unfortunately she's a working woman, she can't always pick up the phone. And as somebody who loves to tell their mom every single teeny tiny detail of their day, I wish that she could have always picked up. But now, lucky for me, we live in the same house. So instead of having to play like phone tag or anything like that, I can just walk down the hall or walk downstairs and run and talk to her. And not only that, but she can do the same for me, so I can always know every detail of her life and she can always know every detail of mine. And honestly, I know that I eventually will be moving out, but right now this time is really special to me because I do think it's probably the last time I'll ever live with my mom. I just think it's such a special experience to be living down the hall from my mom, and I never want to take that for granted. So while there's definitely downsides to living at home after college and those negative things a lot of people talk about, I do think there's still a lot of positives to it, so I never just want to wish this time away. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.
Wow, a ray of hope. The girl actually likes living at home, which is refreshing compared to the other ladies who didn't. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Give me a like just for that. All right, so this next one is real interesting. We've heard about the reasons that the other ladies didn't like living at home. They felt trapped, whatever. But here's a perspective of someone that's been living at home for about a year, she says, or something, a year and a half or something. And she gives her tips and advice about living at home. So check it out.
As much as living home after college is a luxury to so many people, including me, to save money, I don't think that your mental health has to come at the cost of it, which is why I always recommend just doing something cute to your room and making it feel more like the person you are now and not like the person that you were 4 years ago. On the topic of the person that you are now versus the person that you were 4 years ago, I always would say that it's so important to find a hobby that resonates with you now. I feel like that's one of the main things that brings me a sense of independence because I do spend a lot of time with my family living at home, and it can be very easy to fall back into old routines and not be finding yourself at this stage of who you are right now. I find that when I am able to get out of the house more, that my mental health just improves a lot. Because again, it all goes back to like independence and feeling good about myself, even though this isn't probably the situation that a lot of you guys would want to be in. It just is what it is and you have to roll with it. But honestly, I'm super happy with where I'm at. I mean, there's always more that can be done to improve your life and how you live it. But that isn't just defined by living at home. That's going to be how your life is for the rest of your life anyway. So I just try to focus on the positives. No matter who says anything, friends, family, strangers, acquaintances, I don't care. If I could provide anything on what I've learned living at home the past year or so, I would say to just be confident in your path and just be kind to yourself. This is your life, and there's no point in beating yourself up over like thinking you're a loser because it's just not the truth. When I first moved home, I was looking at every situation negatively, which is why positive things were not happening in my life. I'm not super experienced with manifestation or anything like that, but I do know that when I started thinking more positive thoughts, that better things started to happen in my life.
Well, that sounds fantastic to me. You know, thinking positive, better things happen in your life. Get outside, go do stuff, don't feel trapped. Attitude. I like this girl. I like it. I hope I hope my daughter has this kind of attitude instead of the attitudes of the others. But you know, you never know, right? Anyways, that was a good one. All right, so for some more perspective, this dude here, he's talking about how not to hate it. Now, he's actually making effort to engage with his parents instead of shutting down like that first lady. It's like, whatever. So he's trying to make conversation, trying to do things, and let's have a look at what he's trying to do.
Right, so many of us are living with our parents in our 20s. We moved back home because the economy's garbage, the job market's even worse, and it's not really getting better. There's just more and more layoffs every day. And I think one of the biggest things that at least I'm struggling with right now is this like dissonance, right? Between appreciating being home, right? Because like I'm so grateful that I can be home, that I can move home, and that my parents will have me, and like not growing resentful because of the decrease in independence, the decrease in like self-exploration and personal growth. And like it's not anything they're doing. They're lovely humans, and trying to kind of navigate that isn't something that there's like rules for. So I don't know, I'm trying to start conversations and be like, hey, like let's watch this show together, or like, do you want to cook something together? And just trying to like make a new recipe, or like do something that I would do with my friends. I don't know, I feel like this is the thing that people make fun of me for, when it's like I'm trying to push conversations with my parents that approach them as friends rather than as parental figures. This even makes my siblings like uncomfortable, and they're like, this is weird. But I'd rather have that relationship, especially if I'm living here in my 20s. Because if I don't, I'm just gonna be like, I hate being here, I hate being home, I feel stuck, I feel trapped. And I don't want to feel that way, because this is a temporary experience, and this time that I get to spend with my parents should be special. And I want to treat it as such.
Yeah, that's awesome. That time is special. He wants to treat it as such. He's going out, trying to do things, trying to talk to his parents, you know, trying to watch something, cook something. I mean, dude, give me thumbs up for this guy, right? This guy here, he's trying. So I like this guy. All right, here's a cool perspective from this one girl here. She's saying that use this as a stepping stone for your next phase of your life. I mean, this is really good advice. You know, she's like, it's not a permanent thing. Don't get too wrapped up in it. You know, just, you know, take it for what it is. Save up some money. You know, bang out. You know, she talks about how she's saving for all this stuff. But let's let her talk about it.
I moved back in with my parents when I graduated college, and that is something that I would have been really embarrassed to admit just a couple years ago. Remember when I was like a freshman in college and I would look at seniors graduating and they'd be moving back home with their parents, and I was like, that's so embarrassing. I would never do that. Why would they choose that life? That sounds terrible. I have all this newfound independence. Why would I ever move back in with my parents? Now that I'm in the situation and have been for the past year, I am just so grateful that I have parents that want to support me and help me get to where I want to be in life. I really just think you have to reframe your mindset around it. It's just being grateful for the fact that I'm now able to save for all these different fun trips that I want to take, and for rent in the future. I have this like ongoing fund so that when I do finally move out, I have money to pull from. I'm just able to start saving now for my next step in life because I'm taking this time to live with them. It's easy to feel a little bit of shame when I look at all my friends who are completely supporting themselves and living on their own in a new city and feel like I'm not doing enough or I'm somehow behind in life. But I know that's just not the case. Sometimes when you're laying in bed at night in your childhood bedroom, it's easy to feel haunted by almost your past self, or just feel like you no longer have that independence that you once had. And I know it can be hard to come to terms with, but just remind yourself that this is just the stepping stone to get you to like that next phase in life that you're so excited for, and it's just a necessary part of the journey.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. That introspective, that perspective that she has, is that she understands where she wants to go. She understands it's a stepping stone. She understands it's not, you know, it's just a temporary thing. You know, get to where you need to go. This is how you get there. Cool. Let's do it. Right? So give me a like for that one. For her. She's cool. All right. Now, moving right along, we've got perspectives of people who hate living at home after college, people who like living at home after college, people who can tolerate living at home after college. Now, let's get the perspective of a mother. Okay, the mother, she explains stuff from her point of view, and she will talk about what people should and shouldn't do what kind of rules you should and shouldn't have. So this is interesting stuff right here.
Your 20-year-old daughter who's living at home does not need a curfew. She does need to communicate whether or not she's going to be home that night. Your 24-year-old son needs to do his own laundry. He also needs to move it from the washer to the dryer and back to his room in a timely manner. Your college kid does not need to be tracked, unless it's part of an agreement everyone in the family has for safety purposes. You don't need to be counting the alcohol or the number of beers in the refrigerator after your son has been home for the weekend. Your son does need to buy his own alcohol and drink responsibly. There are certain behaviors, certain rules that you need to get rid of once your son or daughter hits their 20s. There are certain responsibilities, communication-wise and financially, that your 20-something needs to take on themselves. And if you're not coming to an agreement on what should be done or what is happening or not happening yet that's supposed to be happening, then you need to sit down together and talk about how you can solve the problem together. Our 20-somethings don't always know what they need to do or the steps to take, and they really don't want to ask for help. And if you're not approachable, you're just going to continue to clash.
All right, some wise advice from a mother who seems like she knows what she's talking about, right? No one wants to clash. The kids don't want to clash unless they're jerks. Parents sure don't want to clash. I don't have time for, fighting with kids and stuff. I try not to overly try to command them to do stuff, right? I just try to guide them through life, right? But great advice. Give me a like if you like that. Leave me your comment if you're a parent watching this on if you agree with this lady or not, right? And let's keep going. All right, so let's wind this one down. Let's talk to this girl here about the positives of living at home. Let's end with positivity. How about that? Leave me a comment below if you want me to do another video on this and end with negativity. I mean, whatever. But let's pick up some positivity and let's see what this girl has to say.
Get ready with me as a 23-year-old in the Chicago suburbs as I talk to you about the pros and cons at living at home after college. To start off with the number one most obvious reason, you will save a ton of money. I know everyone says this, but I never knew to what degree you'd actually be saving. I have saved nearly half of my annual paycheck while being kind of irresponsible where I was spending money. Another pro, and obviously this one's a little bit situational, as the only child home right now, I'm closer with my parents than ever before, and they really treat me like an adult and their roommate rather than their kid still. You have to set adult boundaries when you first move home from college. Next favorite thing about living at home is that I have different roommates every weekend. I have some of the best friends in the world that currently live in the city, and they're always more than welcoming to let me sleep over or crash on their couch. I'm closer with my friends than ever, and I get to live with them every weekend. Little lip gloss. Super easy makeup look today. Come back for part 2 and we'll talk about the negatives of living at home in your 20s.
All right, there you have it, guys. We got the pros, the cons, the in-betweens of living at home. If you're a parent, leave me a comment what you think, what you believe your kids should be doing when they're living at home. Should they be paying rent? Should they be, mowing the yard, shoveling snow, doing the whatever? Or should they just be, or are you just going to let them bank the money and just give them a free ride? Or how are you going to do it? And as a college graduate, tell me what your expectations are. Do you just want to freeload, or do you want to, sit there and be able to bank the money on the other, on the other flip side, right? You want to bank the money, you just want to party, what do you want? What are you expecting living at home? Or do you hate it? First of all, do you like it? Leave me a comment. Or do you hate it, and why, right? So anyways, there you have it, guys. Really appreciate y'all watching, and definitely want to get your opinions on this, so leave me a comment below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell thing if you want to get more of these types of videos. Subscribe and get notified, all that stuff. And check out my description, check out my links in the description below on stuff that can help you out for business, money, life, how to make money, how to keep money, how to grow money. As always, thanks so much for watching. I wish you much success in your finances and in life. Peace.